But one thing for sure, there's just like that explosive like. Oh, it is the super versus super. The UFO versus a Pokemon. It's just it's for Flygon, right? I'm pretty sure.
The unidentified Flygon object is what we call this matchup. So again, these two have played in zone battle before. This is not an unfamiliar matchup. However, I think Doremy did win this by a substantial margin in the TEC WC. Supershocky definitely eager to get that run back, trying to see if they're able to shift some more momentum in their favor. But again, Doremy has been phenomenal with speed, efficiency, and zone play. That Supershocky is going to have to be at the top of their game in every which way, shape, or form if they're going to want to start taking some games off of Doremy. And already we start to see the triple-double come out from Doremy. They are able to get the PC, but Shocky is ready. Again, has that experience from playing Jaden earlier, who also was going for PCs, knowing how to shut that down.
Yeah, and also I'm worried about also that too, but I'm worried about the Doremy's having vengeance for the Supershocky, because he did lose against on the grand finals with on the past games, and I hope that the past games, but still I think that Doremy's just
look at that T-spin efficiency coming out of Shocky. Unfortunately, the O-piece is going to lock out, but a 52 Perfectress is still wonderful to see. Doremy continuing to play just incredibly aggressive T-spin after T-spin. Very little room left on the board, but still getting these clears. Unfortunately, going to have to top out being at 19 lines, but Shocky with enough pressure outside of zone that they're actually going to be pretty fine living through it and already having half a zone meter to their name.
So it's almost a close game, in other words. Right?
Well, Doremy has to be very careful about how well they've been playing. They're at 58,000 points. They don't have a full zone meter, but are about to send it into phase 3 just by itself, and there it is. The phase 3 is going. That is all garbage that's going to have to be dealt with in phase 3, but Doremy has a couple misdrops at the bottom of the board. Has to be careful with how they deal through this, and I think that might be another misdrop. The speed is incredible and helping fix these problems, but that doesn't change the fact that it's going to open the door potentially for Shocky to get a little bit more momentum, and that is all that Shocky may need. Shocky is still really high up on the board though. Doremy's zone has been impeccable in terms of efficiency, despite the fact that their entry states have not been the strongest. In fact, actually going to force Shocky to zone here a little bit early. And I think Doremy is now just going to be going on that 6-3 stack, and that is Shocky is running out of options. Another quarter zone, another T-spin double comes out from Doremy, and unfortunately the eyepiece is not one that Shocky is going to benefit from. And another Shocky has had to deal with the fastest TEC players in the West. As another 140 game for Doremy to close things out on the opener.
Yes, massive. Very massive, like garbage. Garbage.
Look at this, Shocky trying to tank like in particular to try and
get
interesting. Alright,
like very surprising such strategy. He's like Shocky's going for more like the aggressive counterplay measures and counter.
Going with a little bit of that Tetrio play that usually we'll see in tournaments like such. However, it has been really effective in the past, and in fact, Shard, who was tier 4 as well, getting very close sets with Araki earlier on yesterday.
Oh, no!
However, Doremy with the just one large massive attack from that zone, 150 line attack per minute, saying goodbye, good night, I want to get out of here with enough sleep to make it through tomorrow, so I need to finish these sets as fast as possible.
Doremy, I hear that when you play Tetris at night, it gives you more power. Is this true? Is Doremy gaining power because it's nighttime for him?
Got that night vision T-spin builds, I guess.
Oh my god, does he have those army goggles that you could see through, like those night goggles in his when he plays Tetris?
It's almost a PC. If there was one less garbage row, that would have been it. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. And look at this 13-14 from Shocky. However, there's so much garbage coming out from Doremy that I don't know how much they're going to be able to get. 45 Ultimatress, but That's a lot of garbage. Thankfully, it's phase 2, so it's not going to be too filthy to clean up. However, Doremy still just plowing away at that zone meter. There it is. There's the full zone. Gonna have to see if they're going to use it anytime soon or if they're gonna wait to get to that well over on the right side. Actually gonna clear it out entirely, trying to force Shocky to zone prematurely, but it's not gonna happen. Doremy is going to be the first one to zone on the second zone.
Even though Shocky had a full zone, so this is gonna be a very interesting turning point for both of them. And is Shocky going for the? Oh no, he missed it a little bit. He missed the ulti right there. Oh no.
Yeah. And then Perfectress from Doremy. Again, noticing that both zones ending at a very similar time, and Shocky was just, you know, up the creek without a paddle, not really having the best resources to try and deal things, especially when there's zero zone in sight.
And wow, I have no words. Like,
I mean, this is square one. This is the gameplay we're going to be seeing. Look at the beautiful T-spin steps from Doremy.
Oh my god, Doremy going for the cut copy right there. Okay, cut copy. Oh my god, Doremy, chill. I don't go. He's going down the stack like he's doing a down stack. Even though he's doing all. Oh my gosh, what is that foresight? What is that foresight right
look
there?
Look at super T-spin double.
Another T-spin.
Just donating on top of it, and trying to set up the last little column to combo
89
through.
ulti. 89 ulti.
I think that was. It might have been 69. I don't think it was an 8. 89 ulti would be probably all perfect clears. I don't think that was the case, but it doesn't matter. 69 or 89, Supershocky is dead from that massive ulti. Look at the APM coming out from Doremy, almost 1 APP with 300 zone APM, and just really shutting down Shocky, not having a lot of options after that first zone. That although Shocky can get the zone meter a little bit fast, it's getting increasingly difficult to try and counterplay. Oh no, and that is it. Oh man.
My god, Doremy found a PC to just surprise Supershocky. Oh no.
And
oh my
so,
god, I think this is the first time seeing C, right? I'm pretty sure the rating C in this game.
I mean, if someone doesn't send a single line, it'll also just be an E rating regardless of time, but usually that doesn't happen very often. The quick top outs are few and far between, but Doremy showing that all it takes is a little bit of speed and knowledge on your opponent, and you too can take games in, what was that, under 20 seconds? I mean,
sub 20. This is not. You
gotta be careful with these matchups because they can catch you sleeping very easily.
Look at that mid-game DT in the zone. Oh no, the misdrop right there.
What are the skim options? Okay, able to get back to the well. Look at that, immediately cleans it up. And I think is still trying to find a way to get an ulti out of it. Able to get 19. Thankfully with a couple misdrops for Shocky though, they are not going to be in too much of a disadvantage spot. Another DT comes out from Doremy.
DT?
Alright,
wow.
And Shocky does have decent garbage if they're able to get down to it. Oh no, but another really ill-timed misdrop is going to make things difficult for them. The IRS is going to have to try and save them, but Doremy is still putting on pressure, and unfortunately, that is the 6th game. Doremy, again, such great awareness on their opponent's board state, knowing when to pull the trigger, switching from Tetris-oriented to T-spin-oriented, and just really putting Shocky in, just making this just about as hard as it can be. But it is not easy to do that with players in Square One. But Doremy is making it look.
He's breathing inside a Tetris. Like, I heard a term like the good players say you have to breathe in and out in a Tetris, and I think this is like a good example of what Doremy is doing right now. He's breathing in when to do Tetris, when to do T-spins, and I feel that Doremy is just nailing over and over, and that's what makes it that immense power that it's unexplainable. I should say. Holy cow, he's going for T.
Oh my goodness, I think the ulti is still there for Shocky if they're able to get the T piece to spawn in. It looks like they get the IHS solve. There it is, the ulti for 54. but they are still really high up on this board. Thankfully, the garbage is in a good column that they're able to make this work. Doremy is not too high up on the board, so they're able to tank a lot of things. But since they were doing a bit of staggering, they're going to have some cheese garbage to help try and clean out. Thankfully, with that incredible speed on their side, able to do so without too much of a hassle.
And what's going on right here? Supershocky going for the full meter, and Doremy is also having a full meter. And Supershocky going for the zone, and...
Oh my goodness, and look at this. Doremy has worked their way all the way down to the bottom of the board, setting up exactly what they want to zone with. There it is, the deck of Hexatris, I believe, is about 43, but Doremy can see the end of the garbage queue, so only needs 18 or 20 in order to pull this off. However, a bit of greedy builds is maybe problematic. 47 puts it into phase 3. Shocky does have some decent skim options available, but Doremy is putting on a lot of pressure that it's there. Oh, Shocky is getting pushed up so quickly on this board. Oh, it needs to pop a zone now, but unfortunately there's like no room to make things work, and unfortunately, again, another sweep comes out from Doremy. And
wow.
Just, again, another 130, 110. Again, Shocky trying their absolute hardest to try and pull the advantage state onto their side of the court, but it's just so difficult when Doremy's sitting on the other side. And, I mean, it's just...
It's just, the speed is just unexplainably fast. I never seen Supershocky made of like a scene, like, again, like, these players are high tier players, even though people play as tier.
Again, I think 27 out of 32 were invite only, and then like 5 slots were qualified or something of that nature.
Yeah.
I mean, we had people scouting for the best TEC talent, or just modern Tetris talent in general, for these championships. Shocky was chosen for that reason of having this, and unfortunately, so was Doremy. Sometimes the tier 1 matchup is just very difficult. Again, you'll notice it a lot with many of the group stages. If you're gonna try and draw the line between players of Square One, I think the most notable area of difference is that like just creme de la creme of Square One, which sounds weird to say. It's already the top 32 players that we can find, but players like, you know, Doremy, Araki, Akashi Robo, Kazu, just players that if you don't see them in top 2 of a major tournament, you're like, okay, who else in this tier was with them? Because my goodness, the consistency out of Doremy, despite having so many misdrops, is just able to push out so much pressure that you can really just shut almost anyone down from doing the regular game plan. And again, I was trying to mention this a little bit yesterday as well on the broadcast. I think everyone at some point is really at the same caliber of offensive gameplay and their own, you know, unique play styles. But I think what's separating a lot of the players at the very top is preventing everyone else from playing their own gameplay. And I think that's something that Doremy does extremely well with their creative builds. And although Jaden, I think, is very close to getting on that same spot, we've seen the same level of play from Jaden. I think Jaden tends to get that a little bit from the 6-3 sprint advantage, Doremy having to work a little bit more on the creative builds. But again, Doremy has had some very insane matchups in the past. I'm very excited to see how the Doremy-Jaden matchup turns out later tonight.